Hi folks, it's Coach Kelvin here from the We Run Virtual Run Club and We Run Coach for Leeds and surrounding areas, as well as online coaching. In this little video, I'd like to share some thoughts on intensity split. We often hear things thrown around like 80-20, where 80% of our running should be super easy and 20% should be more intense. And a recent study has just come out that just kind of confirms that is still something that we need to pay attention to. So the first thing that we need to bear in mind is 80-20 is over a 12-month period. It's not something that we do all the time. An example would be in a base building phase, we might be 95-5. And in a, let's say a peak phase for a 5K, we might be 60-40. And what does that mean? So it means that 80% of our running should be in zones 1 and 2. And then we end up with about 15% in zone 3. And the other 5% split between zones 4 and 5. And that sort of split between zones 1 and 2, you probably find that a more experienced runner with a high level of aerobic capacity would probably do more of their training in zone 1 rather than zone 2. And somebody who isn't that well aerobically conditioned would probably do more of their training in zone 2 for the sort of easy, which is zone 1 and 2. And the reason for that is a well-conditioned runner will probably find that, particularly those sort of higher ends of zone 2, the pace might be too fast to spend lots of time there. So it might create too much mechanical stress. So one of the challenges is actually setting your training zones. Your watch will not do it for you. It is a million miles away. There's no platform that gets it even close. You probably need to work with a coach. I've done quite a few videos on this in the past, but I might just freshen one up a little bit and do next week's topic on setting training zones to give you some idea. And then we sort of need to monitor this, and whatever platform you use, will have some way of looking at your time in training zones. Garmin has it on individual runs, so I take a screenshot of that and pop it on my Strava as an image, and that goes alongside the comments that I put in the run. But to look at the bigger picture over longer periods of time, I pull up data from TrainingPeaks to see what time I spent in different zones over, maybe a 12-month period to see where that lies. I'll take a screenshot of my 12 months and pop it down in the comments below, maybe so that you can take a look at that. So we're still thinking that that 80-20 is somewhere near, and it's still a good number to work by. 80-20 isn't something that we do all the time. At different phases of our training, it might be quite different from that, but it averages out to somewhere near that over a 12-month period. In terms of the 80% that's easy, we can split that into zone 1 and 2. More conditioned runners might spend more time in zone 1 and less conditioned runners might spend more time in zone 2. And the split of zone 4 and 5, that 5%, will be a little bit event dependent. Someone might be a little bit heavier on zone 5 who's training for a 5K over maybe someone who's training for a marathon over that 12-month period. So I hope that makes some sort of sense. And if you've got any questions, please just pop them down in the comments below. And for now, happy running!